Francis Graham from Kent State University. Recently, they have discovered water on the moon. Now, you probably have heard that the moon has no water, but in fact, it has some water in the form of ice. You see, unlike the Earth, which is tilted 23.5 degrees, the moon has no tilt. So if you're at the North Pole of the moon, the sun is on your horizon. And the shadows of the craters are inside the craters are always dark. Right at the poles of the moon, the sun never shines in them. So if you put some ice there, because there is no significant atmosphere on the moon, and no sunlight hitting the ice, it will never melt. The only way he could get to it is through the lunar rock, and the lunar rock is extremely good insulator. So the question was, did ice get in those craters on the poles of the moon where the sun never shines? And the answer is, yes, it did. We think what happened, one scenario, is that comets bombarded the moon. Now and then a comet hits the Earth. The Tunguska event of the last day of June in 1908 is such a possible event. It created a temporary steam atmosphere of the moon, which condensed into these dark, cold trap craters near the poles. And ice slowly began to build up on the moon. Another possibility is that it was chemically created from the lunar minerals by impacting solar wind hydrogen. Either way, it's there. This was recently confirmed by the L-Cross spacecraft. We had to send a spacecraft there, though, you see, because you can't see inside these dark craters. Oh, they tried radar. They tried analyzing the thermal emission from these craters, which are very cold, but nonetheless put out a little bit of radio energy. All inconclusive. Terribly inconclusive. The only thing they could do was send a spacecraft there. The upper stage booster of that spacecraft headed right into the dark crater Cabeus they picked, and it smashed in there with an enormous force, evaporating some of the ice that was there, and the huge steam cloud went up and was analyzed by the spacecraft, which followed the booster in a kamikaze mission. But as it was following it in, its instruments were analyzing the steam cloud. And that's how we know that there's ice in the poles of the moon. What time is it?